DJI is getting into the battery industry. Yes, the drone company DJI, and they sent me their biggest battery, the Power 1000. Let's check it out. Electrical circuits have a voltage and a amperage rating. In the United States, a household plug is 120 volts, and everything you plug into it will require a different number of amps. Some require very few, some require a lot. If you multiply the volts and the amps a device requires, you'll get watts. And watts are how much energy are being pulled at any given moment. When it comes to battery storage, there are two very important numbers that we need to know. First of all, we need to know the max wattage that this thing can output so that we know what devices will work with it. For example, is this battery capable of outputting the 2,000 watts necessary to power something like a microwave? Secondly, and more importantly, we need to know the capacity of this battery because maybe it can power my 2,000 watt microwave, but if it can only do it for 5 seconds, that's not very helpful. So the measurement we're looking for there is watt hours. This is a 1,000 or 1 kilowatt hour battery. If you wanted to know how long this battery could light up a 10 watt light bulb, you simply divide the capacity of the battery, 1,000, by the wattage of the bulb, 10, and you get 100 hours. Now this battery comes in two different variations. This is the largest one at 1,000 watt hours. This is retailing for $1,000. And then they have one of these that's half the capacity at 500 that's going to be selling for $500. This larger battery has a maximum output of 2,200 watts, which is pretty nuts for a battery. And the smaller battery can output at a maximum of 1,000 watts. Just to put that in perspective, I have an energy monitor on my house. I can look at what every single thing in my house is pulling. And as of this moment right now, with multiple ACs running, all the lights in here running, my refrigerator, everything going in my house, I'm currently pulling 4,000 watts. For ports, this thing has 2 household plugs, 2 USB-A, 2 USB-C, and it also has 2 inputs for solar panels if you wanted to charge out on location, which is pretty cool. Right here, it comes with a standard power cable to charge this entire unit, and below that, it comes with a switch that allows you to charge at the max 1,200 watts or cut that in half and go down to 600 watts. For example, if you were charging this out of your car and you didn't want to blow a fuse in your car, you can switch it to the lower charging speed. So this is a very big battery that can push out a lot of power. Let's see if it will power my 2,000 watt microwave. All right guys, let's cook some bacon in the microwave. I've got the thing plugged directly into the battery pack. Right now you can see we have 57% battery, but it's not pulling anything right now. First we have to turn on this plug. And you can see it'll probably start to pull just a little bit to run the clock. So it still says it's pulling 0 watts, but you can see here, it says that it can run 27 hours with this really low draw. But let's turn this thing on and see what it starts pulling. 1,900 watts, and at this rate, it can go for 15 minutes. Wow. All right, I did it. How does our bacon look? Very cooked. All right, let's try to overload this battery real quick. Let's first see what this toaster pulls. All right, so this thing is pulling 1,200 watts. Let's also turn this on. It's going over the limit. And it dropped back down. All right, it worked. So I am actually the perfect customer for this product because I live in Puerto Rico and the power goes out all the time here. So let me show you what I was forced to buy. This. I have a whole house generator just because the power goes out every few days here. But the problem with the generator is it takes 10 seconds to spool up before it starts powering my house. So everything that I have that's super important that's plugged in will die and then come back on 10 seconds later. So to combat that, I have portable batteries placed all over my house. So you're probably wondering why I haven't done a whole house battery backup like a Tesla Powerwall. The problem with that system is, one, it's incredibly expensive, and two, they're just not that energy dense yet. One Powerwall installed cost almost the exact same as my generator, and one Powerwall has approximately 13 kilowatt hours of energy in it. And I'm currently using 75 kilowatt hours every single day in my house. In the States, when the power goes out, it might be for a few seconds or a few minutes. Here, it could be hours or even days. And my diesel generator can power my house for 7 days before it runs out of fuel. So if you also live somewhere where the power's constantly going out, or maybe you're camping all the time, or you want to take this on the boat or in the RV, having a battery with this much juice can be a massive game changer. Batteries of this size are also changing the photo and video industry. When I first got into photography, the photographer that I assisted traveled everywhere with a Honda generator. And if we did any photo shoots outside, he used these very big power packs. He would plug them into the Honda generator. He'd have to start this thing up. It was so loud. It was crazy. We'd be running long extension cords just so he could set up these lights everywhere. You don't have to do that anymore. You can use a battery like this. And for video production, this is even more useful because you're gonna have to use hot lights, and a generator would ruin your audio recording, but this is almost totally silent. So for $1,000 for 1 kilowatt hour of power, is this battery worth it? Honestly, I'm not too sure. Let's look up the prices of similar batteries right now. 1 kilowatt hour battery. So here's one by Anker. Exactly $1,000. EcoFlow is the brand I'm most familiar with. Looks like their battery used to be $1,350, but as of today, it is $1,000. Let's look at the specs of this battery. The EcoFlow seems to have more ports. It's also 2 pounds lighter, but this one has higher output. The EcoFlow can output at 1,800 watts, whereas this can output at 2,200 watts. So as of right now, it looks like this battery is priced exactly the same as the leaders in this market. I don't know if they knew this was coming out today and they lowered their prices right before this came out, or if they've been discounted for months or years. I haven't been up on the price of batteries recently. Obviously, I haven't been using this for very long, so I can't talk about reliability. This isn't really a full review at all, but for $1,000 for 1 kilowatt hour of battery, it seems like the price is right. If this is something you're looking for, definitely consider this one. If you happen to be a photographer, check out our photography contest going on right now. It's totally free to join. And for April, the genre is portrait photography. So I guarantee every single one of you has a portrait of somebody in your portfolio. We're giving away thousands of dollars in prizes to the winners, so check that out at fstoppers.com/contest. And during this contest, we have a massive sale going on our fashion photography tutorial that we filmed with Clay Cook. Clay's portfolio is amazing, and in this tutorial, we dive deep on everything that goes into creating his incredible photos. He talks about finding the right models, posing, lighting, retouching, and putting together a team so that you can create these giant productions. We've been selling this tutorial for years for $300, and it's on sale for the next few days for just $50. Check it out in the link below.